Burning daylight. Time to get some more mud on the wall, on the ceiling. And incidentally, if you have a construction light, now's the time to use it, because you can look up here and you can see where you've got to go, where you need to put some more mud on, and that kind of thing. They don't cost very much. It's a good little investment for you. Yeah, see, I've got to put it on at different angles. I don't have to keep moving the ladder, keep wiping off those edges. Even when I'm not looking, you need to wipe those edges off, okay? It's a good practice to get into. You could do this path without any light on the ceiling, but you know, after a while your eyes get kind of buggy on you. With the light, there's no doubt about where I need to go. Okay? Hit my screws. Don't forget to hit your screws. Wipe off that excess. Don't leave a big old huge mark up there thinking, oh, I'll sand that later, I'll scrape it later. If I leave it like that, that's too much, okay? Gotta wipe that off. Reposition my ladder. I'm always kind of keeping my eye on where I've gone, whether or not I need to add a little bit, because I need some right there. And I wouldn't have seen that had I not had my construction light on. Okay? How good do you want your patch? You want to spend $10 for construction light and make it a little bit better? That's what I would do. See, even though I don't put all the mud on at any one time, I've got to keep wiping the edge off so that I can get back up there and make it smooth, see? I keep wiping that off. That's what you're hearing in the background and seeing. Hopefully you're seeing that, because that's the type of thing you've got to do. You want to keep that blade nice and clean, okay? I guess I'm going to turn around. You'll get to a point where there's certain ways that you like to put the mud on. And if you have to readjust your ladder, then you can do that, right? Wipe the edge, put some more on there. This is where I stopped before, but I'm still double checking it, because wherever I stopped, I gotta blend in now with the rest of the mud I'm working with here. Okay? I think I'm going to add just a hair more around the edge there. Once you do start doing some, you'll start thinking about where you've got to add more mud and stuff. Don't keep looking to get somebody's approval for it. Make your own decision. You're just watching this video to give you different ideas of how to finish your patch. Maybe you've got a wall patch to do, not a ceiling patch, but you watch this and you happen to learn something. You know, always look at it, a video. What can I learn from that? Don't just blow it off and say, I don't have a patch to do on the ceiling. I don't like to do patches on the ceiling. Well, maybe you'll learn something else by watching me do a patch on the ceiling. No? Boy, I'm going to have to mix up some more. It's okay. I can do that. Let's get the rest up here. I'll add more in a minute. Incidentally, when you're doing your patches, I clean this bucket out, this pan out every single time, no matter what I have left in it when I'm doing quickset. Okay, some guys may do it every couple pans full, okay? Depending how fast you are. But then it hardens up and it just makes it easier to do it every single time, so that's what I do. Okay. Now if you see any little lines, and I'm seeing a couple lines in here, and I got to drag it back off, it might be because you didn't mix up your mud 100% all the way through. And I thought I had all of it, and there's just a hair bit that's getting on there that I should have mixed up just a little better. Not a whole lot, so I'll keep that in mind for next time I mix it up. Okay. See, with the light you can see exactly where you need to go. Now this over here, I've already put it up. I shouldn't even mess with that. If you look back and you see certain things you could have done differently, maybe you want to add a little bit more, the time to do that is after this coat dries. Before you put the all-purpose joint compound up there, you can put another tight skim coat on here if you feel like it. If you feel you need to, go ahead and do it. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to do that. Okay. I'm just adding a little bit around the edge where I think it needs to be. Maybe a little bit more in here. That's all I'm going to do. Even though I got more mud in my pan, that's okay. I can clean it out. Alright. Now to let that dry. Show you what I do next. Okay, this is what your patch is going to look like before you put the all-purpose joint compound on here. We're going to let this dry. This is the second coat. Got one coat over the webbing adhesive tape and of quickset, and I got another coat of quickset over that. And this is what it's going to look like. Now before I put the quickset away, I'm going to look at this after it dries. I may touch it up in certain areas before I go with the quickset, before I go with the all-purpose joint compound. Now the reason why that is important, if you have any low indentations before you put your all-purpose joint compound on, or topping material, taping material, that's the wet sheetrock joint compound that you get at the store, okay? That is going to shrink. So the idea is we get the backing up, the backing mud up as smooth as we can, so that once we put the joint compound, the wet all-purpose joint compound on there, or the topping material, it doesn't have to go into any deep grooves or joints or anything like that, because when that dries, it's going to shrink. When that shrinks, you're going to have to wait a day for it to dry out all the way, so that it shrinks all the way out before you look at it. If you got any deep impressions in your mud of the quickset, your joint compound areas, your all-purpose joint compound is going to shrink in those areas. So you're going to see a little spot there, a little spot there, maybe a line over here or something like that, and it's not going to come out very good. What we're trying to do is not have to put too many coats of all-purpose joint compound over this, Because every time you put one coat on, you got to let it dry all the way for it to shrink before you put the next coat on. So you can imagine it's going to increase the amount of time, the amount of days that you're going to be on a patch. Okay? Remember that.